What's up, Whisper Nation? And welcome in to another Fantasy Whisperer show. You know what today is. It's Tuesday, October 19th, and that means that we have to be talking about those waiver wire pickups for week 7. We're going to be telling you who you need to be eyeing on the waiver wire, who you should make your top priority. We're also going to let you know some players you should drop, all of that, and get more specific questions as well. So down to the end of the show, all that and more with my main man, Big Travie, right here on the Fantasy Whispers.
Right here.
That's right. We're talking waiver wire Tuesday. Well, we're talking waiver wire Wednesday, but we're talking about it on Tuesday. So we got to tell you who you're going to add, who you're going to drop. And Whisper Nation, we got 6 teams on bye, a.k.a. Bypocalypse is upon us here. And these aren't just any teams. These are some good teams, Johnny, that we have on bye.
Yeah, it's no joking around this week.
We have the Bills, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Steelers, and then the lowly Jaguars. But regardless, let me just list all the. Hey, let me just list some of these players. We've got Josh Allen, Zach Moss, Stephon Diggs, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Trevor Lawrence. Dalvin Cook for sure. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. All of those guys on bye, Johnny.
So it sounds like you were just listening. It sounds like you were listing the top 30 fantasy players right there. That's what it sounded like, dude. Our boy,
I've been waiting for this.
Woo! Yes.
But he says,
appreciate you.
I'm a free agent. Pick me up. I wish I could because not only do we have all these buys, Oscar, Johnny, do it 420 says hi guys. How's it going?
What's up?
I wish I could pick up Oscar the Grouch because right now this waiver wire, as you're about to see in this show, I don't have a lot of suggestions for you, Whisper Nation. There's not a ton out there, but we're going to do our best to try and pick these guys up and see which guys can make an effort here. As we always do, although, because the cutoff is 50%, Johnny, I'm going to give some guys that I would go to your waiver and pick up ahead of all the guys I'm talking about, but their rostered percentage is higher than 50%. We've got Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, Khalil Herbert, Latavius Murray, Alex Collins, Kenyon Drake, who got some involvement finally, A.J.
Back
Green, Sterling Shepard, Christian Kirk, J.D. McKissick. All these guys need to be rostered. That's why they're rostered so heavily in your league, so make sure you go pick them up. But yeah, again, Johnny, we're not going to have a ton here to really hang our hat on. There's not a ton I would go over 25% of your fab budget on. There's not a lot of guys I would be investing heavily in. So let's take a look though. Let's see what we can do here.
We're going to dive into these guys once again. Cutoff, like Travis said, is 50%. So make sure that you look for those guys first. If they are available, those become a higher waiver wire priority for you. So put in those fab and WAB submissions accordingly. If you want to check out this whole list, it will be up shortly. We will leave a link in the description below where you can check out this whole article for you up on our website, thefantasywhispers.com. You can also check out prior week's waiver wire columns on the fantasywhispers.com, which is always nice to go back because you know what? Some people just drop. Here's the missing piece, Travis, and probably the more important piece, to be honest with you. This week, because of the bye-pocalypse and so many teams being on a bye, so many players needing to fill other spots, that you are going to start seeing a lot of stash plays starting to be dropped. You're going to see a lot of handcuffs that might not be necessarily popping off right now or playing this week be dropped. And so those are more so what I'm excited about when I'm looking for tomorrow when the waiver's clear. I'm looking, okay, who did players drop in order to pick up some of these guys in order to get through this bye week? So that is where I'm excited about looking. But before we even get to the drops, Travis, we got to talk about a couple of guys that they do need to actually try to consider picking up and either getting them this week, getting them through this week as a bye week, or a longer term play for your team to get you down this stretch to get into the playoffs. The first, as always, we always start off with the running backs. We'll do a couple of wide receivers, quarterbacks, tight ends for you. But Travis, this first guy, serious news here. We have Kareem Hunt going down with a calf injury. Did not look good. He was first carried off the field, then carted to the back. He was tearing up when he was going to the back, which to me indicated, like, I thought this was season. Now they are coming out and saying that he's going to be missed several weeks. They're not being exactly specific with it. So number one on our list becomes Demetric. How do I just call him? Yeah, I just call him D. I call him D Felton.
Demetric
Felton.
Demetric Felton. Yeah, he's rostered in 14%, Johnny, of leagues. I don't have a ton here because he hasn't put a ton on tape, right? So he's not a guy that he had a couple splash plays a couple weeks ago, and then he became a decent, deeper add in that game. But he is a converted wide receiver to the running back position, which gives me faith that they will use him in the Kareem Hunt type role within the offense. And then they're going to use D'Ernest Johnson, who we'll talk a little bit about as well. Actually, I'll just talk about both of them now because I think they're kind of back-to-back ads here. You'd want to kind of hang your hat on each one. I'm prioritizing Felton because of the pass catching work and because I think that they'll use them very similar to the way that they use Chubb and Hunt, only that these guys are not as good as those two. And so I think there's going to be more value in having the pass catcher in Felton than there will be. Plus, similar to Johnny's boy Cordarrelle Patterson, Felton has the dual eligibility. So he's got the running back and the wide receiver eligibility. So there are going to be times that you'll be able to play both. I don't think that there's a lot here, especially if Chubb is to come back. And we don't know Chubb's status. It's kind of up in the air as well right now. But Demetric Felton is the guy we want and then look, Z comes in here. What a guy right here. Yep, exactly. Demetric Felton is the RB we want, and that's exactly right. He is the one with the top waiver priority for me out of these running backs. But again, and that is because of the wide receiver eligibility, his ability as a pass catcher, the pop he's shown in limited action, the way they've schemed him up. Stefanski schemed him up even when Chubb and Hunt were on the field. So I just think there's more pop there. I don't know that it's going to equate to much, but he's the guy you'd want to go and put your waiver ad on, your priority on for me.
He might be the lower key option there for you. Most people would be. I would be interested in seeing if Chubb doesn't go. If Chubb is not available, then it will be interesting to me. It'll be, a little bit difficult to trust either one of these because, like you said, I do expect Felton to get that receiving work, but I don't know how much of an actual workload they would put on him as far as the rushing work. And then that would be where
I would unfortunately right now, because they play Thursday, it's being reported that Chubb is unlikely to play. He's doubtful to play. Yeah. So that's where we're looking at. Give him 10 more days, and then they're going to run with these two. And like I said, I think it'll be ground and pound with D'Ernest Johnson, which I think he's not Nick Chubb. So it's not going to be as sexy. It's not going to be as exciting. They do play a Denver defense, but unfortunately for them, Denver's strength has been their run defense. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been through the air, which is what kind of reversed what we thought Denver would be, but that's where we're at with it. And so that's kind of where, I don't think Chubb is going to go. I think they're going to run with both of these backs, and I think Felton's the one with more upside. So if you're in that bipocalypse, you need a flex. Felton could easily be flexed here this week against Denver.
I definitely think it's a good play, especially with the dual eligibility. If you could play him as a wide receiver and you are looking at 13 touches, very similar to what we talked about with Patterson, when you have a wide receiver that's getting 13 touches, it's very hard to beat that, even if the production isn't the greatest, because of the amount of volume that you are going to see. I am definitely looking and monitoring this situation because I'm sure we're going to get a lot of questions about it this week, rightfully so. But I'm excited to see how this tandem works its way out as far as these two, if they end up sitting both Chubb and obviously Hunt will be out for a few weeks. All right, now on this next on this list for running backs, Travis, we got our boy. It's coming. He's coming back, dude. He's like that. He's like
That stubborn Penny, dude.
Yeah, that stubborn Penny that you can never get away. It's like the mask, dude. Like you try to throw it out and it just like whips right back, and like it's just haunting you. It'll just never go away. And that is Rashad Penny, who is rostered on only 14% of sleeper leagues right now, but supposed to come back from the IR this week. Supposed to practice. A lot of banged up bodies over there in Seattle as well. You got Chris Carson on the IR. You got Alex Collins a little bit banged up, had himself a game. But you got Homer over there. You got DJ Dallas getting a little bit more carries. What are you liking about this situation for Penny? Is he number 2 on? You have him number 2 on your article, which usually indicates he's your second favorite running back prospect to go pick up. But do you really think this is the time for Penny? Is this Penny's time to actually show people what he oh yeah, and I like Z's coming in here. We'll talk about him. But is it time for Penny to actually get right? Can we believe in him?
Get it right, get it tight. Let's think. Carroll says he's going to be activated off the IR. We know that Collins is banged up. We know that Carson's on IR. This is just simply a game of attrition. I don't necessarily believe in Penny anymore, but I think that he needs to be picked up, and I think he needs to be rostered, and I think he'd be the second priority this week just based on the fact of availability, and that's where we're looking at for this team. Seattle needs a back. They're going to need some bodies in there, and if they're not going to go, we got a lot of watch teams because we're 15 days away from the deadline, the trade deadline. And Marlon Mack could be a name that's out there. Some of the backs over in Baltimore could be out there as trade targets. So continue to monitor that. But I would consider Penny as an ad for me. Just based on availability, like Johnny, like that's the biggest thing. Like I don't have anything because he hasn't shown anything this year. He's been on IR, and it feels like he's been on IR for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
but he's definitely got to be a guy that you have to pick up. And look at Do It 420 says, I've carried Penny on my bench for 3 years. I ain't touching that player with a 10-foot pole, but I wish everyone jumps on him so I could target a better player. Yeah, unfortunately on the waivers this week, we just don't have a ton. I will bring up a bonus guy. We've got a couple other guys here, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about him because Ramondre Stevenson's one. Obviously, he's been getting a little bit more work, been active the last 2 games. Harris dealing with the rib injury, but Harris still is the lead back, so don't go spend a bunch of fob on Ramondre, but keep him there on your radar as a guy that could be next in line. Devonta Freeman, Baltimore Ravens, rostered in 3% of sleeper leagues. Just a guy that they are going to continue to use, it looks like, in the passing game for them. Now, they don't target their backs a bunch, but this is the back out of the old stable of backs that I would just kind of go with. So, it looks like Hunt just got placed on the IR. Z's saying, yeah, exactly. So Felton would be the number 1, and that's how we're kind of rocking this one.
And then I'm telling you, open up those doors, baby, because here comes Nick Chubb coming down as the number 1 running back this year. This is what he.
Nick Chubb would have to play, and he's not.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Even if he misses another week, dude, he can come back and still be. He finished top 5, and he missed 5 games last year. He's going to. I'm trying to trade for Nick Chubb right now. If I'm anybody. That if you have
and then I want to bring up just an honorable mention because Z's bringing him up here. Obviously, Gibson banged up. Patterson see the same workload, or does JD eat a bit more into the carries? I think they like McKissick, and I think he'll continue to see more work. But yes, Patterson would be an interesting ad. Yeah. He's not, he's not going to flash anything special right now. And so
they like him. They like him there.
Yeah, but they love McKissick. Like it's not like they like him more than McKissick right now. McKissick's a guy they trust. They trust him in 2-minute drill. They trust him in pass blocking. So for me,
that's the thing is if Gibson goes to IR or Gibson is out, Patterson will take over his role. Patterson will take over Gibson's role. They've already said it. They came out and said it even before because they actually
Okay,
want.
if you want to go blow your waiver priority on the
I'm not-
backup
you
for a
don't need
Washington
to.
football team,
You
that's
don't
what I'm
need to
saying.
blow it. You don't need to
Okay.
blow it because no one's come out yet and said Gibson was on IR. That's what I'm saying. If you want a low end, you don't want to spend your fob going in the direction of Felton and where everyone else is going. You want to go an alternate route where you probably don't have to put anything down because people aren't thinking about it. I'm going after, and I'll tell you, that's exactly who I'm going after. I'm going after Patterson because Gibson seems to be on his last leg, literally, because his shin's like breaking. And so Patterson is a rookie that they brought in and they like a lot. And he is planning, and the whole plan is to get rid of J.D. McKissick and scoot in Patterson and have Patterson and Gibson for the future. And so I am saying they would give Gibson's most of the now. Will they give 100% of it to Patterson?
No,
probably not 100%. He's still a rookie, but I do think that Patterson would become the early down workload. They're not. I don't think they would give it all to Gibson.
Patterson's undrafted. I don't know where you're getting all this hype on Patterson that they love him so much. I have not
Go back
seen
to
that.
preseason.
They like JD
Go
McKissick.
back to preseason. Go back to preseason. Look it up. They were hyping him up. They love him. In fact, there were rumors that McKissick was going to get cut because they like Patterson so much.
And guess who didn't get cut? McKissick.
I
guess
know.
who continues to get work? McKissick. And guess who continues to get targets? McKissick. So again,
Patterson, he's a scat back.
Again, Patterson would not be a priority ad for me. McKissick would be a priority ad. He's probably rostered too much.
He's
already rostered too much, 54%. I would not pick up Patterson over any of the guys we've mentioned so far. I would consider him right there after Dearness Johnson. Then you could go pick up Patterson if you liked him over Ramondre Stevenson. But yeah, he's an undrafted rookie that's the size of Devin Singletary.
Undrafted has nothing to do with it.
We're in the
NFL season.
We're in the NFL
season.
Hey, statistically,
how many undrafted free agents go off? They go off all the time.
They don't.
They go off all the time. Myles Gaskin last year, 7th rounder.
How's he doing right now? And how's he doing right now?
They don't give him volume.
Exactly.
He went off last year. That's what I'm talking about. Last year, it's a one-hit wonder thing. It doesn't matter where they were drafted. It doesn't. Because look,
are
at
you
Chase
done
Edmonds.
Or are we moving on to the next part here? Thanks.
I'm just letting you know.
I know you're letting me know you want to hijack the whole show to talk about Patterson. Let's go.
Well, it's a conversation that people need to know about because he's going to be a guy that we're going to be talking about. Moving on to the wide receivers here. All right. Well, you can be a hater on Patterson. That's fine. You can go watch some film. Wide receivers here.
You did not just watch the tape on me.
Yeah.
You go watch the tape.
I did.
Nobody drafted him,
Patterson.
Johnny.
Of course, because he's the third stringer.
Because he sucks
right now. No, he's actually pretty good.
He's undrafted.
Wide receivers here. Marquez Callaway, who was also undrafted, by the way. Not drafted. Marquez Callaway. Then dropped and then picked up by New Orleans now, who is the number one over there, roster on 44% of sleeper leagues. You want to talk about Marquez Callaway and how he is stepped up as an unrestricted or undrafted free agent wide receiver, and now he's on your number one waiver wire priority?
Yeah, well, this mostly has to do with the lack, again, of talent that's on the waiver this week. Marquez Callaway, Donovan Peoples-Jones, T.Y. Hilton, and Jamal Agnew kind of are leading the way, and that should tell you all you need to know about what's available there. So for me, Marquez Callaway just he's started to kind of emerge here, especially right before their bye. I told you last week, if you were able to scoop him up, that would be a good one to go do. So he would be an ad for me because last week saw 8 targets, caught 4 of them for 85 yards, a healthy 21 yards per reception, and 2 touchdowns last week. And now, Johnny, they're going to face a Seattle secondary that is struggling lately. And so this is just an ad that I would go, especially we talked about all those players on bye at the start of the show, Johnny. I think Callaway could easily get in there as a flex play for you this week. We have some delay in Michael Thomas potentially coming back. They said he was eligible this week, but it looks like it might be, week 8 at the earliest. So yeah, I think it's just simple. It's Marquez Callaway is the one guy on here, save for maybe T.Y. Hilton, who you'd be confident as being the number one alpha in his offense. And that's something I'm going to go and try and do.
So you've got Donovan Peoples-Jones, Cleveland Browns, roster on just 7%. of sleeper leagues, coming in as your second wide receiver here. Got some good playing time with OBJ. Sideline, didn't practice yesterday. We'll see if he ends up practicing today. That whole team is just really banged up. Baker Mayfield saying he's most likely going to play. Donovan Peoples-Jones, you like him more than T.Y. Hilton?
Yeah, because of the OBJ injury, and sneakily enough, I'm kind of hoping that Case Keenum could get the start here, because Case Keenum, I just feel more confident that he's going to be able to push the ball down the field. He's been consistently a guy to be able to do that. And right now, Baker just doesn't look good. And you can call it the injuries or whatever it is, but this team doesn't feel like they want to open it up to Baker at all and continue to push the ball down the field. So that's what I would be targeting Donovan Peoples-Jones. And because the reason why he's ahead of T.Y. Hilton, he escaped this game without any kind of injury. T.Y. Hilton banged up, very banged up when he came out of that came out of that game. Said his coach said he's okay, but he had the calf injury. He just had the neck injury that almost ended his career. So there's just too much there circling around him for me. And then lastly, Jamal Agnew, who's picked up some few targets over the last few weeks for Jacksonville, would be a guy I'm interested in going to take a look at, because look, Jacksonville's going to continue to have to throw. Now they're on bye, so I wouldn't go spend a bunch of priority. That's why he's far down on the list here, because you can probably wait a week, to be honest. You can probably wait, see what happens with buys, and then go pick up Agnew after this week. So
I do like
one of those sneaky ads on a Sunday or a Monday.
It was I did play him in a few fantasy DFS plays this week, because he does get some nice targets there. All right, so a couple of players I'm going to ask you if you would drop any for these guys. Well, we got a sad Brandon Ayuk. Goodbye, Brandon Ayuk. Would you drop? Let's see. Would you drop? Would you? I'm trying to think of a good name here. Would you drop Josh Gordon for any of these guys?
Yes, all of them.
Okay.
Josh Gordon can go bye-bye.
Would you drop Alexander Madison for any of these guys?
I'm keeping on to Alexander Madison.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but according to Sleeper, Alexander Madison is the 15th most dropped fantasy running back right now, or player, excuse me, with over 37,000 people dropping him. So if Alexander Madison is dropped in your league, go pick him up.
Yeah,
that would be my number one. I wish I played in that league. All right, Devonte Booker or any of these guys?
Oh, I'm keeping on to Devonte Booker. Still seeing volume. The offense had a really rough game against the Giants, but they shouldn't play like that every week. And I think Booker's going to have some decent matchups. Against Carolina, that's a tougher one, but then Kansas City and Vegas, both nice matchups right before the bye. So I don't know if Saquon's going to be back this week. We'll see what happens with that, but I'd be just volume alone. I'd be sticking with Booker till we know for sure that Barkley's going to be back.
Okay. Jamal Williams.
Williams has got to continue to be rostered again. If he was available, I think I'd be picking him up over a lot of these guys as well.
All right. Last one here, Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, Myles Gaskin could be dropped.
Yeah. I think you can finally put a fork in him. It's unfortunate he's not getting the volume. All right. And then let's see. I'll try to find one more here for you to be a good little. What about Kadarius Toney? Kadarius Toney dealing with an ankle injury. Would you drop Kadarius Toney for any of these players?
I might drop Kadarius Toney for Marquez Callaway, but it would be close. I like Toney's upside. He's definitely got league-winning upside. He just has to get back on the field and stay on the field. So in a tough spot where I needed someone to play this week and I was worried about Toney's availability, yes, I would drop him for like a Marquez Callaway, but that would be kind of the tough one there. That would be that'd be hard.
All right. Moving on to the tight ends here. We're going to give you a tight end that you need to go and grab because again, it is very thin.
Yeah.
Once again, 20% is that 20% of the fantasy players are going to be out this weekend. Or I think it's like 20% of the football league will be not playing this weekend, which is not good for us. All right. So Ricky Seals-Jones, comes over to Washington and really slides over there nicely into that Logan Thomas role, picking up right where, well, frankly, where we thought Logan Thomas could kind of play as far as fantasy football for the tight end position. Ricky Seals really popping off. So Ricky Seal becomes your number one waiver wire priority for the tight end position. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I've over 99% of the snaps in the last 2 weeks, over 41 yards in the last 2 weeks in each game, and then last week just really got in the end zone, went 4 of 6 for 58 yards and a touchdown. Again, he just is a 1-for-1 replacement of Logan Thomas as far as what we have in snaps and as far as his usage in the offense. And then, Terry McLaurin seemed to be a little bit off on this game. He missed a couple deep shots here, and I think as that continues and this team continues to not be able to, maybe they won't be able to establish the run as well if Gibson is out, which should open up more for the passing game, which means Ricky Seals-Jones is just the priority ad here. And here's the deal. Like if people are available here, Hunter Henry, we like Zach Ertz, we like, if they're available, go get them. But right now, those guys are only available. Hunter Henry only available in 27% of leagues. And so Zach Ertz only available in 28% of leagues. And again, I think Ricky Seals-Jones, honestly, if I'm honest with you, Johnny, I think he's better than both of those guys as far as his role on the team, his usage, and those things. And so I think you're sitting here with a chunk of gold on the waivers to go get in Ricky Seals-Jones, at least until Logan Thomas comes back.
Like it. All right, let's round out the show before we get to listener questions here. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Stick around. We're almost done with this segment, and then we'll jump into your questions. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell. If you are new to our channel, let us know. We'll give you a shout out at the end. All right, Travis, quarterbacks here. We have quite a few quarterbacks on bye this week, so you might need one of these players.
You probably will.
Derek Carr coming in at 49% of leagues roster. Jameis Winston roster in 43%. Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons roster on 41%. And Tua Tagovailoa roster on 27% of sleeper leagues. So you want to break down some of these? Let us know which ones you like the most, which ones you like the least.
Yeah, Derek Carr's my number one here. He's a borderline QB1. He's about QB14 right now. He has all in the last 6 games. He has 4 of them with 20 or more points. So you like to see that. He did come out firing against a Denver defense that was supposed to be pretty tough. It was on the road. He got above that 300-yard mark again, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So I like that. And then he's playing this Philly defense, Johnny, that has just been getting torched through the secondary. So I'm really liking the matchup for him this week, and he'd be my number one streaming option. Also a big fan of Jameis Winston. Going to get Seattle here right after the bye, coming off his best game of the year, where he had over 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He got going with Marquez Callaway, as we talked about earlier in the show, so he would be my second option here, going against a Seattle secondary that's not very good. Also, don't sleep on the veteran, Matty Ice here.
Yeah.
45 attempts before the bye against the Jets. Now he's going to get a Miami secondary, obviously, that fresh off of letting Trevor Lawrence do what he wanted to him. And then also our guy, Tom Brady, 2 weeks ago, just went off on Miami. So I really don't think Miami's defense is as good as we thought it was going to be to start the year, which is unfortunate because we were looking at them as a tougher defense. I love Atlanta coming off a bye into this game, and the offense should be able to roll, and Calvin Ridley back. So I think Matt Ryan's a decent stream this week.
I like it. All right, we have that brings it to the end of the waiver wire spots here. We will now jump into these listener questions. Again, appreciate all of you for joining in. Make sure you hit that sub, hit that bell, get us notified anytime we drop new content. Help get you that W, help get you that championship this year. Let us know in the chat. We'll give you a shout out. Once and more. Appreciate Do It 420 hopping in here. Oscar Grouch, our guy, dropping that super chat. Appreciate you. All right, do it for yeah, it's a sad week for waivers. He added Zach Ertz. A week after. Oh, he's asking. Oh, here it is. This is actually. Where is this quote? I saw it. Yeah, would you? He also had a trade question, but I'll find it in a sec. Okay, so would
I
you
think
get Elijah Mitchell?
Elijah Mitchell needs to be. He's over 60% rostered right now, so he'd definitely be a priority ad for me. And the reason is when we see that he's on the field, they use him as the Raheem Mostert role. They use him as the lead back. And if Jimmy G is able to go, because Trey Lance kind of dinged himself up before the bye, we'll see how that works. Sprained his knee, I believe. If Jimmy G goes, we like Elijah Mitchell even more because then Trey Lance isn't robbing him of carries. So I do like Elijah Mitchell. This game against Indy is a tough matchup on Sunday night, but you still would like the volume that Mitchell would be projected to get here.
I like that. Derrick Henry, number 1 pick in 2022.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, if he keeps this up the way it's going, we'll see. Inglorious P, I am 2-4. Is it over for me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, it's just getting started for you is what we would tell you, because if you stick around, we will get you out of that hole. We will get you back on track. There is a long season ahead of you, my brother.
That's
There's
right.
a long season. And unless it's something wild, maybe if you're like only like 4 people get in your playoffs, you might have a slimmer chance, but most cases it's at least 6 or 8 players that make your playoffs in your league, so we can get you to climb back out of that hole. Let's remember, a lot of people start giving up right around now. This is when you take advantage of that. You start building up that roster, getting that depth and stuff, and then we also got bye weeks coming ahead. So those teams that sometimes the teams that were like those mega teams that were like looking unbeatable becomes beatable now because they've got buys and they can't roster their normal thing. So you could take advantage of it. There's plenty of games left, a lot of action left. We'll get you out. Just hit that subscribe. Make sure you stick around. We got it. All right. Let's see. Inglorious asking Tua or Darnold this week.
Let's see. Carolina playing. I think we like Tua here.
Yeah.
Although Darnold looked shaky, but then got it going again. Going to be playing the Giants back-to-back weeks under 16 points, though. Yeah, give me Tua against Atlanta. I like the matchup a little bit better. Over-under should spike a little bit in that one.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Here. Oh, this was a Cobwell. Welcome to the channel. Should I look to trade Waller if I have Goddard? Yeah, I would.
I mean, it depends on what you're getting back always. So
yeah, I wouldn't just trade him for anybody, but Waller's name generally will give you an uplift, even though he's having a down year. And I think that if you have Goddard, I would be looking to make this move. All right, Hunter Henry, a good fill-in for tight end this week. Yeah.
Yep.
He's been killing it.
Mac Jones been looking to him in the red zone for sure. So
yeah, Jonnu just struggling to pick up the plays there. TCP, what's up?
What's going on, Cat's Pajamas?
What's up, my man? Let's see. Do it 420. I carry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was saying nope.
No to Penny.
Here we go. Cobwell, Darren and Khalil for Aaron Jones and T. Higgins. Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, I would smash that deal.
Yep, 100%. Great deal for you. Fiery arguments. Yeah, we're getting it going. Oh yeah, Killjoy. Big shout out. We are going to be getting Killjoy is going to help get Whisper Nation, our Discord, set up a little bit better and more organized. So excited to do that. Excited for Killjoy and appreciate him for reaching out, looking for help Whisper Nation out. Hey, chat. Corey Davis, Odell, or Amon St. Brown? Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'd be looking to try and get Odell in if he plays. If he doesn't, I would go Corey Davis here.
All right. We got a bunch of questions here. Okay. Do you got ML coming in here? Would you recommend picking up a streamer quarterback, 4 points per passing touchdown? Tua, Wentz, Bridgewater, or Heineke?
I'd go with Teddy B. Cleveland's hasn't been very strong against the pass this year. Teddy B's been consistently putting up 20 or more points. This would be who I would go after. Teddy B's been pretty solid at QB. So
yeah, This is a good one. Jason asking any advice. I'm 2-4 playing a guy I could be fighting a playoff spot for. Trade Zeke for Jones because Zeke is on a bye. I
No.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
We understand that Bipocalypse is here and that it could cost you a matchup or two, but do not in any situation be trading your studs because of the bye week. It's just not a good strategy to do.
Yeah, especially because the Packers also haven't had their bye week, so you're just kind of kicking the can down the road, and it's it might
Their
not
bye
work
week
out
is
yet.
in week 13 when you probably are
Yeah.
still going to need a win down there. So
Yeah, so just I wouldn't do this like Travis said. Stick around. We'll get you a dub. We'll pull it out this week. Make sure you hit that sub bell. Let us know. Appreciate
would
it.
you trade
Trying to get
away
to 21.
CD and Tim Patrick for DJ Moore and Miles Sanders? I would be keeping on to CD Lamb and Tim Patrick. DJ Moore's great, but CD Lamb is starting to break out a little bit. He's starting to warm up. So I don't know that I'd do this deal.
I'm intrigued. I don't think it's terrible. I mean, DJ Moore has been having a great year. With you got with Tim Patrick's going to take that third seat with
as Darnold has struggled, so has DJ Moore. He's seen under 10 points in PPR in back-to-back weeks with Darnold struggling. Whereas we're watching CD Lamb's arrow go the opposite direction now, where CD Lamb is starting to heat up. So I could understand you wanting to get DJ Moore and maybe a running back, but Tim Patrick's been solid. Hasn't let you down, and then CD Lamb is a star in the making. So
yeah, this one's a difficult one. I don't know. Like, I don't mind if you do it, but I don't think you have to do it either. But it's up to you. I think it's really close. All right. Slim Reaper saying, "What's up, Whisper Nation? Whisper Nation strong. Appreciate you."
Darius
Rob saying, "I started off 0-4, 2-4 now. Six man playoff in the 12th. See, there we go. Coming back. Let's go. We got it.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you back in
there.
Rob. Let's go, Gus. Saying, what's up, guys? What's up? Appreciate you, Gus, for jumping in here. The only guy you ever played Henry and still lost. Oh, that's brutal. That's a brutality, for sure. Gordon the third, Tony or Stevenson in flex this week. Probably Gordon.
Yeah, I'd be playing Melvin of those three. If
I
Tony
don't think,
plays, I'd be interested in playing Kadarius Tony.
Tony was looking so good, dude. 3 for 36, and then went down. He was looking good. All right, Hops in my cup. Love that name. Best streaming quarterback this week. I have on a bye. Who's that?
Heineke?
Oh, Dak. No, he's got Dak. That's pretty good.
Oh, Dak.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I was like, who's? Yes, okay. Best streaming. We talked about
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater is a good one. We like one of those three. We like one of those three for sure.
Good call on Teddy B. Yeah, I think Teddy B over Tua, but yeah, I think those are good ones. You got it, ML. Anytime, brother. Guys, what do I do with Lockett? Yeah, you plug your nose and you say you plug your nose and pray. Yeah. I mean, you can hold your hat on that maybe Russ is coming back on November 14th. That's been the date that they're kind of tossing around. If you want to try and move on, I don't blame you, but I don't think you get the value you want. You need a pop game. Also, very tough matchup for Geno there against Pittsburgh. So wasn't exactly the easiest one. So maybe just hang tight and see if you can get a game and pops with him. Yep. Should I trade Justin Herbert? Once again, it would depend. Oh, here we go. I think he just followed up.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got Justin Herbert and T. Higgins for Tim Patrick and Travis Kelce. I would not do this.
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do this deal.
No. I would and also, like, what is your other quarterback? If you have, like, I'm fine trading Justin Herbert if you have a decent backup quarterback, or there's another better another option for you. But I think you could get back much more than just.
Let's not panic on our Chargers after one bad week going across country to Baltimore Ravens. Okay, like I just don't. I think we need to relax. They were looking at the bye. They saw the bye coming. They were playing Baltimore. They traveled cross country. We know these West Coast teams that go all the way to the other side on a morning game have had troubles. So I think they had a bad game. Let's pump the brakes a little bit on our concern there. What should I do with Julio Jones, Johnny?
Be concerned.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, it's he comes back. He's been out. Like, real talk. If you need to drop him because you're 2-4 and you need a wide receiver, I'm fine doing it. Because as of right now, he seems
try and
to
get him
just
traded.
be. Well, yeah, I would try to trade him
on some Julio name value, even if you
Yeah.
could get some more fob budget, if you could get some other things for him, like that's what I would be trying to do.
But I
but
think
it's not
he's
looking
just
good.
gonna-
It looks like he's in the twilight of his career on a team that isn't going to have the pass volume that Atlanta had, and he is just not able to get on. He's just dealing with injuries, man. It's just not good.
Healthy. All right, Garrett, what's up, fellas? What's up, Garrett?
What's going on, Garrett?
Winston or Tua this week for streaming quarterback. Also need help picking a streamer tight end. I got Tunyon, Smith, Hurst, Ferkser, Ferk Daddy, and Hooper to pick from. Who should he pick up from tight end out of those? And then Winston or Tua?
Who's the Smith? Who's Smith at tight end? Who's Johnny Smith? I'm guessing. Hayden Hurst, Ferkser, and Hooper. I think Hooper is going to be my preference here, especially if we get a Case Keenum start on Thursday.
Yeah.
I would lean Hooper. I'd lean Hooper probably either way, just because I know that team's likely to use the tight end. I don't know if it'll be him that day, but they'll use the tight end. And right now, Tunyon is not startable,
Dude.
man. He's just not
It's
startable.
brutal. I don't understand how you go from, having 15% market share and your head coach saying, I want to get more involved. All of a sudden he's like seeing nothing. But yeah, good point.
And Garrett, I'm guessing no Ricky Seals-Jones on your waiver, because if so, that would be my suggestion. But yeah, I'd go with Hooper.
Yeah, I would probably go Hooper. All right. Mike Davis.
Corey Davis or Mike Davis?
Over a Patreon supporter. Appreciate you.
What's up, Will? Cool. I would go. I would go with Mike Davis still, I think.
Yeah, I think I would actually. Mike Davis is still putting together some pretty solid games.
Right.
Garrett asking, is Jamar Chase worth trying to get? I have T. Higgins. I would trade it away for him. And what is Jonathan Taylor's trade value currently? Well, I would not be trying to trade Jonathan Taylor right now if you have him. He has an amazing schedule coming up. He is going to continue to feast. He is a top 5 running back rest of season. I would not try to trade him right now. If you're trying to trade for him, then you're going to have to give up one most likely. Now, as far as Jamar Chase, Travis, I think we both agree he's worth going to try to trade right now. What would you, if you have T. Higgins? So obviously, like, you're going to be probably giving up T. Higgins and what? Probably like an RB2 handcuff, a low-end RB2 handcuff.
Yeah, or an RB2. Like, you're going to have to give up a lot to get Chase right now. Like, Chase's trade value is maybe the highest it's ever been. Like,
it's going to be hard to get Chase from.
Yeah, so you're going to have to give up an RB. You'd better have RB depth if you're going to make this deal and you're trying to make that next push to get your wide receiver locked in.
Yeah. All right. He is, let's see. Oh, nice. Terrell too dope. I like that. Real quick, is Dalvin Cook, Godwin, A.J. Brown a good trade for Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson?
You're trading away Dalvin Cook, Godwin, and A.J. Brown, and you're getting Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson.
I would not do this deal. I think you're giving up way too much.
I mean, Cook just got healthy, made it through the game fine. They're on their bye. I think you gotta stick with what you got there, brother.
Yeah, I would.
And don't let the buys scare you into doing an irrational deal here.
Like I'm fine if you want to trade Dalvin for Jonathan Taylor. I'm fine if you wanted to trade AJ Brown for Justin Jefferson. But I think because you're adding Godwin in there, you should be getting another piece back in that trio in order to make it a little bit more even for you.
Yeah. With Chubb hurt these days.
Sorry, click off. Hold on.
Hold on, dude. With Chubb hurt, these are my RBs. Khalil Herbert, my Gaskin, Madison, Jamal Williams, PPR. I have no idea what to do. Yeah, it's a tough running back core here, man. Especially with Gaskin's droppable at this point. Maybe this is why you can try and make a deal. Jersey J, we were talking about a little bit last night. Top 3 waiver ads this week. We talked about it at the top of the show. Make sure you go check it out. Appreciate you joining over on Twitch. And Glorious P, trying to remember who Keenum targets. Pretty sure he likes tight ends and possession drivers, wide receivers. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm remembering as well there in Glorious P. Jersey J says, I made an offer of Carr and Gaskin for Keenum and Jonathan Taylor. I hope he takes it. I doubt that he takes that.
Wow, that would be. Hey, if that happens,
good luck.
Hey, I think it's a super flex league, so it might actually happen.
Have a great day, guys. You too, Killjoy. He says the
Appreciate
goat.
you,
Appreciate you. Trail Too Deep says sweet. And Andrew Banuelos says, I have Winston and Daniel Jones as my backups for Herbert. What do you think, Higgins or Waddle for my flex non-PPR?
Oh, I see. So
I was looking for an RB1 for Herbert. I have Higgins and Godwin. I mean, if you can trade Higgins and Waddle for a running back, that's what I would do instead of trading Herbert away. I don't think I wouldn't trust Winston or Daniel Jones for the rest of my season.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
That's not what I would.
I think that they'll be fine spot starts, but I don't know if I would want to count on them rest of the season. Yeah.
I'm just looking for an RB1. Yeah.
Yeah. I had no quarterbacks for this week. Yeah. It's a super flex. So. I mean, if you can get that deal done, that would be great for you. We should note it real quick before we close out the show and want to appreciate all of you for joining us today and sticking around for the waiver wire. Make sure you tune in for tomorrow's show. We're going to be talking about some guys that you want to trade away or possibly trade for. Then we got our temper expectations quarterback matchup for you tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to that. But with that said, I do want to point out, because it's in regards to a lot of these questions, that right now is if you are in a position where you are able to take advantage of, your wins, your record, and you can trade away some of these pieces for players that are better, but players need, wins. So they're willing to make deals that they normally would not make. It's worth throwing out a trade or engaging in trade talks to try and get someone with a record that needs a win. You should go and try to have a conversation,
dude. So I tell Andrew to maybe package Waddle in a deal. Jersey J says do not trade Waddle, and then he says shaking his head for none. That's nice. Exactly right, because Waddle is the one guy I would be trading out of the guys you mentioned there. I'm not trading Godwin and I'm not trading Higgins away. I'd be trading Waddle before I trade either of those guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Love Jersey J though. Love all of Whisper Nation. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll see you on the show then. I got any last words?
Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Get those matchup breakdowns that will be coming your way on podcast. So make sure you're subscribed to the Fantasy Whispers podcast and check out this whole article. Will be up shortly if you like to read about these guys.
Sounds like a plan.
That's all I got, Big Travie. Anything else for your end?
No, that's it. Just make sure you're subscribed across the platforms. We love you, Whisper Nation.
Until next time, that's Big Travie. I'm Johnny Game Time Hicks, and we're the Fantasy Whisperers, and we're out. Peace. Good luck on those waivers.
Peace.
Right here.
Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. If you still have a lot to say about fantasy football, maybe you want to give Johnny a little bit of crap for his take today, then go on over to our Discord channel and join the conversation there. Click the link in the description below. And if you still want more content, check out one of these videos.